if you wake up okay, if you are lazy now, if you don't make effort, so you cannot become a successful person. This is universal truth, right? Those who eat and sleep and waste their time by playing games and all will not become successful people. So you can enjoy your childhood, you can enjoy your life, like playing games and going out, going with the friends. It's okay, but you cannot waste your valuable time just for those things, right? You have to focus on your studies. That is the important thing. Persistent effort, that's very important. The Buddha in many occasions instructed people to earn and save their wealth for better life for themselves and their families. That is also very important. Now, when you become a successful person, if you earn wealth, you can help others also, right? That's very important. We need to help others, needy people, and we need to help our parents. Okay, now at this age, parents sacrifice everything for you, right? So they provide everything what you need, all the internet facilities, laptops and phones and all this. You didn't earn, you don't earn, you don't have any money to buy them. It's your parents who provide them to you. And also the food, medicine and everything they provide. But there will be a time that you need to repay. Okay, you need to pay gratitude to them. So when you become a successful person, you can help your family, you can help your parents, you can help your brothers and sisters, you can help your country people, you can help others, needy people. So therefore Buddha said, for better life you should earn. Okay? Therefore idleness is to be avoided, but put forth effort for earning wealth with honesty and diligence. But you should earn with honesty and diligence. There is a story. I am going to tell you a story. This story is very good story you to learn. Okay. In the Dhammapada, verse number 115 explain like this. In Pali it says, Acharitva brahmacharyang aladda yobbane danang jinna konchava jayanti kina michera pallavi. Okay? It says, those who did not lead a moral life and did not acquire wealth when they were young would have to struggle and mourn when they grow old and incapable. Do you understand? I have to read it again. Those who did not lead a moral life and did not acquire wealth when they were young would have to struggle and mourn when they grow old and incapable. Okay? If you don't study now, if you don't study hard and pass the exam now, when you grow old, you think, oh, I didn't study at that time, or that is why I am suffering like this. If I studied hard and if I got my degrees, I could have get a good job. So like that, we hear people say. Okay? There are some people say, we wasted our time when we were young, when that is why we are suffering today. Please don't be like us and you do your work hard. People advise like this, right? So the Buddha said, say that those who did not lead a moral life and did not acquire wealth when they are young would have to struggle and mourn when they grow old and incapable. They cannot do at the old age anything. So they think, oh, we couldn't earn anything when we were young. So that is why we are suffering. Hmm. And the Buddha gave an example to that, actually, similar to it. Those people are like old herons, like old crane, that white bird with the big, long neck, old herons at the bank of the dried lake without fish. There are some old, okay, incapable cranes or herons on the bank of dried lake. In dried lake, no fish, right? The lake is dried, no water, no fish. But they are waiting because they cannot fly to a good lake. Okay, lake with the water and fish to find because they are too old. So the people who didn't earn money properly at the young age when they could, but now that this age, old age, they are like old birds, cannot find their food. The Buddha uttered this with reference to a son of Mahadana. Mahadana means the person who had a lot of money. There was a very rich family during the time of the Buddha, and they had only one son. And this one, when he didn't study at all, he didn't go to school, he didn't study because they had a lot of money. And parents said, no need to study, we have enough money, you can enjoy the life. So when he when he become of age, he married to a daughter of a rich family. She also had no education. Now the boy is also uneducated, uneducated boy from a rich family, and the girl also girl from girl without any education but rich family. Both of them have money but no education, okay, no knowledge. When both their parents died, they inherited great wealth and became very rich. Now this young couple is one of the richest young couple in Savatthi at that time, during the time of the Buddha. However, both of them were ignorant and only knew how to spend money but not to keep it or make it grow. They just kept spending, didn't know to protect them or to make it grow, the money. They just ate, drank, and had a good time squandering their wealth. When they had spent it all, they sold their ornaments, properties, and finally their house. Okay. So they had a lot of money, but they spent lavishly, wasted their money, and finally they sold their ornaments, properties, and house. They became very poor and homeless and had to go begging for their food. Okay. You see, it's not take long time to spend, right? Now people, have a lot of money, go to Vegas sometimes and waste their whole money for gambling. Okay, so no matter how much you have, you can spend overnight millions of money. Okay, dollars. This young couple, within few years, they spent all their money and finally they sold their house and became very poor and homeless. And they were begging for their food. One day, the Buddha saw the rich man's son, I mean this couple, leaning against the wall of the monastery, taking leftovers given to him by a young monk. Okay, they came to the temple for begging for food, and the young monk gave them some leftover. So Buddha saw this, and Buddha smiled, okay, and said to Ananda, Ananda, look at these people. He is the son of a very rich man. He had lived a useless and aimless life of pleasures. Okay, at young age, he had a aimless and useless life of pleasures. If he had learned to look after his inheritance wisely, he would have been a top-ranking rich man. However, became he had done nothing all his life, he had lost his worldly riches, worldly wealth, as well as the opportunities to attain any spiritual development. Okay, because they didn't have any education. They had money, but they wasted all that money because at the young age they didn't study and they didn't know how to protect the wealth and how to get the best use of their wealth. And finally, what happened? They lost everything. So this story says that if you don't get proper knowledge, don't have good education, so you don't know how to manage, how to handle your wealth. That's very important. You have to work hard and also you have to protect your wealth. That is the second condition for happily life. Okay. The now the now this you see this picture shows some bees collecting the honey for honey uh, to make honey. So the bees, Buddha gave people to children to work like bees. Bees are never lazy. Okay, early morning bees goes looking for flowers and they get this comes from the flowers and collect honey without harming the smell or color of the flower. Okay, like that people have to we have to uh, work hard, work without laziness. Very important thing at this age, children, you have to uh, work hard. I mean, not to be lazy. Laziness is one of the greatest barrier for your success. And one can become a successful person uh, if they give up their laziness. So the first condition is not to be lazy, but to work hard, like persistent effort. So at this age, I like to focus you. You need to study hard, okay, and not to waste your time. That is very important. Most of our children waste your time aimlessly, uselessly, just for fun, especially the games, right? There are so many games nowadays. A lot of children waste their time for that. This way you miss the opportunity to study, then you will not become a successful person. Then the second condition for the successful life in this way, Arakka Sampada, proper vigilance. The second condition for the well-being and happiness in this life is to protect one's wealth. The Buddha advised that a person's aim should not only to become a prosperous but also maintain prosperity. That's the point. Okay, not to become just prosperous but to maintain the prosperity, maintain your wealth, manage your wealth. Therefore, strongly encourage his followers to take wise steps to protect their wealth. Okay. A person who has built his wealth diligently must protect it from being squandered. In this discourse, Buddha advised to take protective measures to safeguard their wealth from king, thieves, fire, water, and unfriendly relatives. The Buddha explained, your wealth can be wasted. The king, the government may take that, okay, as a tax, different tax, but you have to pay the tax. It doesn't mean that you don't pay the tax. You need to pay the tax, but sometimes maybe you need to wisely manage your tax and pay proper tax. Thieves might come, and fire, water, and unfriendly relatives and friends. Okay, this reflects the threats that a wealthy person encountered during the time of the Buddha. Nowadays, you know, there you have to protect your wealth from I'll tell you unfaithful friends. Okay, there are friends that come to you and tell you different stories and get your wealth, money. And also there are certain ways that in the Parabhava Sutta there is a discourse called Parabhava Sutta. In that discourse, Buddha explained the ways, 6 ways that wealth can be destroyed. Okay, if you are spending money for intoxicants, it means alcohol and drugs, your wealth will be destroyed. If you gambling, addicted to gambling, your wealth will be destroyed. If you have evil friends, bad friends, so your wealth will be destroyed. If you indulge in habitual party, you know, go to clubs and dance and beach parties, and if you habitual partying, your money will be destroyed. Okay, if you're loitering streets and unseemly hours, it means you go out at night and meet undesirable people, your wealth will be destroyed. And if you have the habit of idleness, also your money will be destroyed. So these are certain ways that you can destroy your wealth. Whatever wealth you have, money you have, you should protect them. Okay, it doesn't mean that you don't spend. There are some people who keep, they don't eat, they don't want to spend for anything, they just keep collecting. That is not here. Means you should spend for useful things, the things that you want, but not to waste. Okay, so the not to ask, like at this age, not to ask a very expensive you know, the tools like phones or the other toys. Sometimes you want the more very expensive things from your parents. They work very hard, you know. They do sometimes 2 shifts, 2 jobs, morning and evening. Okay, they sleep very few hours. They eat minimum, and they, for themselves, they spend very little. But sometimes naughty children, not you, you are the good children, best children. So they demanding from their parents. Oh, I want that. I want this latest, you know, phone, or the new things, new games, or something. Very expensive tools or toys. They demand. So people sometimes people become very stressed. You know, the parents come and talk to us. So because of their children need so very expensive things, but they cannot afford like that. So you at this age, not keep in mind not to demand such so many so expensive things and unnecessary things especially. Okay, and whatever you do you have to repay, that is karma. Okay, now if you bother is to if you disturb your parents and that way, one day when you become parents, so your children also will do the same thing, maybe in 10 times more. Okay, that is how we pay for our karma. It's a very important thing to keep in mind. If you hurt your parents, if you hurt their feelings, if you give trouble to them, one day you will get 10 times, more than 10 times. I mean, you will get with interest, you will get those troubles from your own children, from your own members of the family. So therefore, whatever you do will come one day. So that's very important thing. Anyway, in this discourse, Buddha explained to protect, how to protect the wealth. Okay, the need to protect the wealth. Don't waste them and spend unnecessarily, squander them. The third condition is the spiritual friendship, kalyana mittata. Okay, kalyana mittata mean they have a spiritual friends, good friends. There are good and friends and bad friends. You all have experience of good friends and bad friends. The good friends always guide you for right thing. Okay, and the bad friends always guide you to do to put you into troubles. Therefore, selecting your friends is very important. You cannot judge them at the beginning. Once you see someone, oh, he's very nice, he's very kind, he's good, he's well, you cannot judge people like that. Therefore, when you have friends, carefully need to observe whether he guide you on the right path or the wrong path. If he guides you on the right path, he's good friend. Keep associate with him and close contact with him. If you guide if he or she guides you on the wrong path, you need to stay away from them. Okay? The friendship is an important factor. Spiritual friendship is praised in Buddhist practice. The most famous statement on spiritual friendship in the Buddha's happened. So Buddha said once, the holy life is totally depend on friendship, good friendship. Okay. Spiritual friends are important for the development of the noble virtues of kindness, compassion, generosity, patience, and forgiveness. Peer support, which encourages each other to be good, is also important. So the kind, compassion, generosity, patience, forgiveness, these are the qualities that good friends should have. Remember, good friend is always kind, okay, compassion, generous, patience, and forgiveness. Okay? So there is a discourse called Mitta Sutta. Mitta Sutta means the Mitta Sutta. Mitta Sutta means discourse on friendship. In that prayer, there are 7 qualities of a good friend. He gives what is hard to give. Okay, you can judge good friends like this. There are 7 conditions. A good friend gives what is hard to give. Okay, what is hard to, sometimes there are certain things hard to give, but good friends still give them. He does what is hard to do. He do what is hard to endure. He reveals his secrets to you. He keeps your secrets. He never tell your weak points or secrets to others, but he tells. openly tell his secrets and his weak points to you. When misfortunate come, he does not abandon you. Okay, at the time of misfortunate, at the time of problems, he never abandon you. When you are down and out, he doesn't judge you. Okay, a friend, and these are the good qualities of good friend. Hmm. But this word, in this world, it is very difficult to find good friends. Okay, spiritual friends, but still you can find good friends in Dhamma school. The people who are coming to Sunday school or Dhamma school are good friends. Then the last condition, or the fourth condition in this very life to make a successful life here is the samajivikata, the balanced livelihood. Okay, the fourth condition for well-being and happiness in this life is balanced livelihood. Okay, balanced livelihood, what do you mean by balanced livelihood? You should know how to manage your income. Okay, you can spend money. Okay, as I said, you can spend $1 million overnight, but that is not the balance in life. Okay, you see this picture. Okay? Look at this picture. What this says to you. This lady has so many clothes in his wardrobe. Okay, but still she thinks I don't have anything to wear. Okay, there are some people like that. There are some ladies. Okay, here this is written. One of the student asked a question. Do you think? No. The Bante asked question. Do you think people spend too much money on clothes nowadays? Then one student, Vidara, answer. I think people, especially ladies, are spending money that they don't have to buy expensive clothing. Okay, so they spend a lot of money to buy clothes. As I said, upon unnecessary things, you should not spend money. But the spending money on clothes is not uh, deemed extravagant expenditure as, but what is considered as wasteful is having wardrobe of full suits and saris and other dresses, yet continuous to buy more. You have enough, but still want to buy more and more. You know, this picture says a monk. Okay, monk is sewing his old robe. This is wearing one robe, but he's stitching, is repairing his old robe. The Buddha in the Chullavagga Pali, Buddha explains about consumption of robes by monks. Once King Kosala asked Venerable Ananda, how should monk use their clothes? So Buddha said, Venerable Ananda replied, after a robe was worn out, it was used as bed sheet. Now this robe I am wearing, this is a new one, right? This is a good one. After this worn out, after I cannot use this as a robe, maybe stone or wool, then I use it as my bed sheet. I can put it under on the bed. Okay, and later after that it's also worn out, then I can use it as a carpet in the near the bed. I can put as my keep my feet. Okay, and finally with the sin, it was mixed with mud and applied to clay wall. At that time, 2600 years ago in India, didn't have a walls, a house like this. They had clay houses. So after uh, finally, when the robe is worn out, that you cannot use for anything, you mix it with the mud and apply to the clay wall. So this is a recycling, right? Buddha taught 2600 years ago. He advised how to recycle your things. Okay, Claude. Huh? And also what you can do. Now you cannot use your clothes like that, right? You have some old clothes. I am sure you have many clothes that's still good, but you don't use. What do you do with them? What can you do? Anyone? Yes? Yes, Sandhu?
Or you could donate them.
You can donate them. That's good. But you should, before you donate, okay, you should clean them properly and arrange them nicely. Because I have some experience. Once I was in Australia, so I wanted to collect some old clothes from the families. Some just came and dropped. They are dirty. They had a lot of things in that, so cannot use, even cannot take. I mean, touch them. So you should donate them. Exactly, you have to donate. There are people who need your clothes, okay? There are many people who might really need and appreciate your used clothes. Nearly 90% of your clothing and textile can be reused, right? I written in this book. So you can donate them. Donate here. You have Salvation Army or the something places like this. Otherwise, you can make boxes and send to Sri Lanka. I used to collect old clothes and send to Sri Lanka. Some temples have them. So therefore, the uh, to not to waste your used clothes, or the not to, first thing, not to buy unnecessarily. Use what you have as much as possible, and then donate what you don't want, and not just keeping. So that is very good. And not only your clothes, but you also can donate your uh, excess other things like the stationery, books and pencils and all. Here the thing is, uh, again, you should use what you have, but not to waste. So these are the four conditions that to become a successful, happy person in this life. We don't have to explain the other four conditions. Next chapter of the book explain condition for future happiness. Okay, so in that we will discuss next class. The first part we discuss in the of the discourse explain four conditions, the four conditions that to live happy and successful life in this very life. The first one is effort or persistent effort. The second one is protection. Okay, proper vigilance, what I said. Then the third one is good friendship or spiritual friends. And the fourth one is kalya samajivikata, balanced livelihood. eh? And balanced livelihood, not only just spending, but eating and playing and everything. Study also. Okay. You should balance. Not all the time you spend your time with the books, but sometimes you need to go out, have fresh air, okay, play outside, and do certain extra curriculum activities. So the balanced livelihood. Uh, in this particular discourse, explain about the balance your wealth. Okay, but a balanced livelihood in you can apply to all situations like that. Hmm? And in day-to-day life, you should apply balanced livelihood. And these four conditions definitely, if you practice, help you to have a successful, happy life here in this very life. You have very fortunate, very uh, blessed life. Okay, as a young children, the out of uh, many millions of children, only few little people have these opportunities. You have a good life like you. There are children in the world struggling to live. without food, without water, without medicine, and without education. There are children even never, there are children in Sri Lanka and also in India. I lived in India a long time, never go to school. Okay, they don't have proper food to eat. Arnav, you know, right? In Bangladesh also, there are a lot of children are suffering. So you have wonderful life. So therefore, you are blessed. You have this so lucky, fortunate life. You have very nice parents. So you should become a successful people, and you should help others also to live happily. Then with these words, I am going to conclude the class. And if you have any questions, we have about 10 minutes. If you have any question, if you have any ideas to share, now it is time for you. Anyone?
Okay, so I want to ask you, how could, if there was no education, could they even speak? For the rich woman and man, the rich couple who didn't get an education, could they even speak because they didn't have any education?
No, they spoke. They can speak, but they don't know how to protect their wealth. They didn't know how to protect their wealth, how to make it grow. So now, if you have money, if you have, suppose you have 100,000, you can spend it, okay. But if you have knowledge, you can invest some business or something and make it grow. But without education, they could speak, of course, but they didn't know. They didn't know because of they didn't have education, so they didn't know how to spend the money, how to make them grow wisely. That is why after few years they became homeless. And in this very country, okay, in this USA, there are so many homeless, right? There are so many homeless people, you might have seen. And some years ago, they had their own house. Some of them, they had good life, but because of their mismanagement of wealth, they become homeless like that. If you don't have proper education, proper guidance, you don't know how to manage. Mismanagement, that is the thing. Okay, mismanagement, not don't know how to manage. Good. Any other? Okay, you remember the 4 conditions? Okay, all of you remember 4 conditions. What makes this life happy? Effort, protection, good friends, in simple words I'm telling, and balanced life. Okay, balanced life. And this balanced life is very, very, very applicable. Okay, now even with your food, okay, don't eat too many junk food. Healthy food you have to fine, eat. Otherwise your health go unbalanced. You become sick, then the life is miserable. You don't have good health. So if you some children, we know that they don't eat in the morning, they don't take breakfast, they keep starving, and after some time get what is called gastric. Okay, gastritis. Right? So like that, if your health is not good, then also you don't have a happy life. So the balanced livelihood is mean here everything. Okay, these 4 conditions are very important in your life. So to become happy and successful person in this time. Okay, thank you children for participating, and I hope you learned something. This course, this is Vyagapajja Sutta or the Digajanu. The discourse name is Vyagapajja Sutta, how to win both worlds. We explain only 4 conditions that make this life successful, and in next class I hope to explain, if I take the class, the 4 conditions that make our next lives happy. Thank you so much. May the blessings of the Buddha, Dhamma and Sangha be with you. May you be well and happy. I chant for your success and happiness. Bhavat Sabba Mangalang Rakkantu Sabba Devata Sabba Buddha Anubhavena Sabba Dhamma Anubhavena Sabba Sangha Anubhavena Sada Sutti Bhavantu Te. May you be well and happy. No harm come to you. No problems come to you. No difficulties come to you. May you enjoy good health, happiness, peace and success. Sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. Thank you.